Well, viewers, first up now, development, infrastructure, drought. One would really assume that these would be the issues dominating the political discourse during the election season in Karnataka. But instead, it has been all about one individual, Prajwal. And then comes the pen drives and the petty political slugfest that follows. But the bigger question that now looms large is, where is Prajwal Revanna? We know that he flew out of the country after voting, and this was possibly around the 27th of April. Since then, details about his whereabouts have been anything but, clear. It's all been sketchy. It is widely reported that he is in Germany. He was asked to join the SIT probe immediately after the issue blew up, but he asked for a week to appear. This was on the 1st of May, viewers. So he was supposed to appear in 7 days' time. That was supposed to be on the 7th of May. But that didn't happen. Again, it's been a couple of weeks since then, and he's yet to be traced. It appears like a blue corner notice against him has also been issued, but has it had any impact is the question that comes up. He was supposed to return to India on the 15th of May as per the tickets that were initially booked by him, but he didn't even board that scheduled flight, showing a deliberate attempt here to remain evasive. But while the horror stories of his alleged sex scandal continue to pour out, his return has become a political football. On one hand, the JDS has distanced itself from the matter, with H.D. Kumar stating that Prajwal isn't in touch with him, and this is all an attempt to ruin his party's image, he says. Congress, on the other hand, has dragged the BJP into the matter, stating that while the state government has formed an SIT, why is the Prime Minister hesitant in taking action? BJP, meanwhile, has called it a failure of the state government, which couldn't apprehend Prajwal despite having information in the first place. Let's listen into this political tug-of-war that's happening between Mr. Kumar, the Congress and the BJP.
ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್ ರೇವಣ್ಣ ಅವರ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ
ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ MP ಇದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಿದೇಶಿ ಫೋನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೋ ಏನೋ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಏನೋ ಬಂದಿದಾವಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಇದು ಬರೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ನನಗೆ ಎಂದೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಸಿಗದೆ ಇದ್ದ ನನಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಹಿನ್ನಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸತ್ಯಾಂಶ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಸತ್ಯಾಂಶ ಹೊರಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ತಂದರೆ ಆಗ ಒಪ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ವಾಸ್ತವಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಚಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅದೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಹೇಳೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಾವು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಂತ್ವನ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಅವರಿಂದ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇವತ್ತು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಕುಟುಂಬಗಳ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಇವರುಗಳು. ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರ ತಂದೆ.
It is the duty of the central government to bring him back. We have written to the central government. It is the duty of central government and the NDA. I hope the law will take its own course. NDA is protecting him.
Centre and state just keep blaming each other, sir. The politics is what is going on, questioning who allowed him to escape, who allowed him to, really leave the country. How are you viewing this, sir? All of the latest that's coming in on the Prajwal Revanna case, he's still not back.
See, the state government in the state of Karnataka has completely failed. They should have, taken the precautionary measure to ensure that he doesn't fly out of the state. But they let him go. Who is responsible? The state government is completely responsible for all these things. They should own accountable. They should be made accountable. They should own it. They are responsible. They let go Prajwal Revanna. It is the responsibility of the state government to take the precautionary action which they have not taken. They let him go abroad.
So
now they just want to.
The centre allowed him to flee, sir. The state says that the centre also had information about this right from the time that the alliance was formed. Why did they not act on this?
See, it comes in the state domain. The state law and order domain doesn't come under the government of India. It was the responsibility of the state government. They had filed a case. They should have ensured that his movement. They let him go. When FIR was registered, why they let him go? Is it a central issue? It is a state issue. Very clearly, it is a state issue. It was the responsibility of the Congress government in the state of Karnataka. They just want to do politics. They just want to have politics at the cost of the victims. And all this politics is not fair. And they should have taken action. They are responsible. They are now acted irresponsibly just to have blame politics.
They are responsible, they are responsible, they are responsible. But who is actually responsible and where is Mr. Prajwal Revanna is the question. These are, of course, all the political reactions that have been coming in with little or no effect on the victim. So the bigger question here is, what's next for Prajwal? Will his diplomatic passport be revoked? The Karnataka government has already asked the centre to do it. So why hasn't it happened so far? Now, there are over a dozen women, potential victims, identified so far from their videos. How is Prajwal Revanna still allowed to dictate terms? This is our big focus in today's show. Before we, of course, go across to our panel of guests, my colleague Neha as well joins us live on the broadcast. Neha, this is, just getting quite bizarre. While, the request was sent for a blue corner notice, it has done nothing but probably give them information about which country he's in. And that too is not being revealed right now by the SIT. Now, it doesn't matter if they're, of course, going to divulge that piece of information. But what matters is, what are they really doing to bring him back?
Well, Deepak, that's the big question on the minds of all of the families of those victims. In fact, on the minds of those victims themselves, who braved all odds, who come out here, who filed a complaint there against Prajwal Revanna. It's rather unfortunate that at a time when you would expect the state and the centre to set aside their differences, to put the politics behind them and try and work together to ensure justice for these victims, that at a time like this, you have absolutely no sort of remorse coming in here from the politicians. All of them, in fact, going on to over here suggest that, it's just merely politics that matters to them. Quite unfortunate. We really, of course, have to wait and see as to when Prajwal Revanna is brought back and when he's made to join the investigation.
Right, Neha, thank you for sharing those details. Let me quickly open this up. Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Lavanya Ballal, spokesperson of the Congress. Arvind Kumar Jain, he's a former DGP from Uttar Pradesh. We also have Mr. Naveen Chomal, he's a lawyer. I'm thanking all our guests for joining us today. I'm taking this straight across to Lavanya Ballal. Lavanya, right now the onus, of course, is a lot on the state government to ensure that there is justice done to the victims. While we have leaders repeatedly saying that, in the interest of the women and the safety, we are, of course, doing a very thorough probe into the particular matter. But until this man is brought to India and he faces the charges that he has and, he's brought to book, there's no justice really served here.
Good evening, Deepak. We have all been talking about this for quite a few days now. See, when I was just watching Kumaraswamy's statement, he says his family is dysfunctional and he's not in touch with his nephew and they were not in touch with each other even before the case broke out. So dysfunctionality of a family cannot be an excuse to get away from his responsibility. There is an onus on Kumaraswamy as well, not just because he's his uncle, also because he's a JDS leader and a former CM. And he has failed in his duty as a former elected, former CM, as an elected representative, as a human being, to file a case or to bring justice for all those women who were assaulted, because at least from December 2023, he was aware of the case. Now, let us look at what has the BJP done till date. The BJP has not done anything to cooperate with the state government to bring this man to justice. Now, why is his diplomatic passport not cancelled yet? It may not have a huge impact, but let me ask everybody here, what has the BJP done other than defending this fellow and other than defending their decision to get into a coalition with this guy and his party? They have not given any positive, gesture, or they have not done anything to ensure justice for any of these women. It is very easy to sit and blame the state government and say, hey, you shouldn't have let him get away, you shouldn't have done this, you should have done that. Everybody has ideas about what the state government should be doing, but nobody is ready to take the ownership of the mistakes that they have committed. They are not ready to set things right. We would like to know, what is the BJP going to do to ensure that he's brought to book and the women are given justice?
Lavanya, when you say nobody is willing to take the onus, does that even mean the Congress party? Because we cannot keep delving into the past. Who let him go? Well, we've had that debate multiple times, Lavanya, but now the question is, what is the Congress going to do now to bring him back? Because you requested for a blue corner notice. All that the blue corner notice does is just give information to the SIT that this individual is in this country. It in no way will help, him be apprehended. He cannot be brought back using that notice. So why isn't a team of the SIT traveling if they need to, if they have information about his whereabouts, or doing anything in terms of fast tracking this, matter, filing a charge sheet in his absence, and then, taking other legal means to actually get hold of him? Is that an effort that is on, because we're not hearing about it? Or has the importance of this investigation gone down because the elections are over?
Well, people would like to come up with a lot of guesswork when it comes to Congress's functioning. Let me make it very clear. Congress party ensured that the FIRs are filed within 24 hours of this case being escalated to NCW. There was an SIT formed. We have done all proactive actions possible by the state government. Now, I once again ask, when you people ask me, hey, what is the state government doing? We are committed towards justice for these women, Deepak. What is the JDS doing? Why isn't the JDS cooperating with the Congress? Why isn't the BJP MPs from the state demanding more action from the central government to bring this guy back? There was a raid today as well by the SIT to 18 different residences of Prajwal Revanna and others to ensure, to collect more evidence. So the SIT is functioning, SIT is doing its work. We want to know what is the reluctance of the national government, that is a union government, to break the alliance with JDS. Why are they still supporting this heinous criminal? And why is it that Amit Shah said their alliance will not, have any changes despite this case? Don't these parties
let
want
me quickly
justice
bring
for the
in
women?
the BJP. Okay. Mr. Bhaskar Rao, we have Lavanya there saying that the JDS has its own responsibility. The BJP at the center, of course, can do a lot in this particular case, considering the fact that you need the MEA right now. You need, the central government to really intervene to bring this individual back. And if it is going to be the BJP which is saying that we care for the women's safety, they should do their bit as well in this particular case. So where is the BJP's role, which hasn't been seen up until now?
Okay, let me tell this to you. Lavanya has given quite a good dose of politics into the entire criminal action matter that has taken place. At the outset, when the time which Prajwal fled this country, no case was registered. A case was registered only after he had fled the country. So there was no way the immigration could stop him. Immigration has to be intimated by somebody. So who should have intimated the immigration? Neither Congress party was aware. And of course, BJP was not even aware that such a person is escaping the country. Okay, now that you have formed the SIT is a state government matter. SIT is absolutely disempowered. Let me also tell you, Deepak, that I have dealt with 2 SITs in which we have been able to bring dreaded criminals inside the country, and our Karnataka police officers are very, very competent. When we had an SIT earlier to bring Bananje Raja, a notorious criminal from Morocco, Casablanca, we also were able to get Ravi Pujari from Senegal. We empowered the SIT to go abroad and to get in touch with the embassy abroad over there. It is the lookout of the state government to ensure that proper permissions are obtained. Government of India cannot send a team to Germany to bring Prajwal back over there. And the state government police officers are extremely capable. I did not say anything about the capability of BK Singh and his team members over there. They have done a good job. When the state government is not at all interested in empowering, the Home Minister says SIT cannot go abroad. Which law says that the SIT cannot go abroad? We sent SIT not only to Senegal as well as to Morocco, and we sent an armed team. We had ensured that the inside the aircraft.
Mr. Rao, hold that thought. Mr. Rao, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold that thought. I'll let you continue that because we have a breaking update that's coming in the Swati Maliwal case. I just have to take that information right now. I'll come back to this debate immediately. We have this big update that's coming in as the Swati Maliwal statement has been recorded. A big churn really in the Swati Maliwal assault case. Her statement now recorded, like I mentioned, the Aam Aadmi Party MP files a complaint with the cops as well, complaint filed with the Delhi police, and the statement has been recorded by a senior police official. The additional CP Special Cell has recorded this statement, and the statement has been recorded at Maliwal residence 72 hours after the assault at the Chief Minister's residence. My colleague Nikhil brings us this breaking update. Nikhil, what more do we know?
Deepak, what we do know is that after 4 hours of marathon meeting with the Swati Maliwal, the Delhi police officials have left a while back, and now it appears, and this is something which has been confirmed by the Delhi police sources, that she has officially filed her formal complaint with the Delhi police, and throughout she has maintained that she was physically assaulted at the residence of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, which clearly means that the troubles are all set to be mounted against Bibhav Kumar or whosoever person who has been named in the official complaint which has been given by Swati Maliwal to Delhi police officials. Remember, at about 1 p.m. or something, team of the Delhi police, in fact, topmost senior officials to the ranks of additional CP of the special cell for the very first time, along with DCP, additional DCP of North District, because North is the particular area which is the jurisdiction as far as this particular case is concerned. So we need to see as to how exactly the Delhi police is further going to come up as far as the investigations are concerned, because since this matter and the incident took place at the official residence, which might means that the team of the Delhi police in the days to come, either tomorrow or day after tomorrow, they can also reach out to the official residence to go through the other details, to record the statement of the witnesses, be it Arvind Kejriwal or the security personnel who are usually deployed there, or they might also go through the CCTV footages which are a part of the official residence. And tomorrow there is another big development which is going to be seen, where NCW, National Commission for Women, they have summoned Bibhav to appear in person for the very first time at about 11 a.m. So these are the major developments which has taken place as far as the Swati Maliwal alleged case is concerned. Back to you.
Right, thank you for sharing those details. Of course, we'll keep a close track of all the developments. This is, of course, a developing story right now. Swati Maliwal, they're recording her statement with the police. Coming back to the debate, we were just discussing, women's safety in Karnataka. Of course, this is an issue across the country as well. Mr. Rao, you were just pointing out earlier about, in the Revanna case, about how the SIT can actually travel, to other countries if they need to. And you have been an IPS officer. You, of course, held top positions in the state of Karnataka as well. You are pointing out certain situations where it can be done. Now, we have a lawyer as well on the panel. We have a former IPS officer as well on the panel. So we'll go back to them to get another
can
perspective as well.
Can I just add one more thing before we go to the honorable lawyer?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
See, why is it that investigation is not proceeding? Investigation can proceed without the presence of the accused, and an absconding charge sheet can be given. And with the court's permission, he can be declared a proclaimed offender. Once he is declared a proclaimed offender, his property can be attached. So all this is showing that the correct message is going to ensure that the SIT is going behind the fugitive. But whereas the SIT is not at all being empowered by the state government, it is just standstill. No action is being taken. And someone is giving protection to the fugitive in the Schengen countries. Because if the fugitive is moving independently or with some group, he has to present his passport. And moment his passport is seen anywhere by any law enforcement authority, the green corner, the blue corner is going to start flashing over there. So there is a deliberate attempt of the state government to make the SIT into only a organization which is not going to do anything over there. SIT has to be empowered, and the state government should ensure
that. But Mr. Rao, the Congress has also written to the centre. It's been several weeks that they've said when the diplomatic passport has been issued, why not, cancel that? So what is the centre also doing about this? If they were serious about women's safety, if they were serious about
that is only one aspect. That is only one aspect. Why don't you send? Why don't you send?
But it is an aspect. But it is an aspect. But it is an aspect. I will ask that question. I'll ask that question to Lavanya here. She'll have to answer that. But you'll also have to answer as to what the BJP has done. Yes, Mr. Rao, but what has the BJP done?
All necessary permissions have been given. Home Department is the one which is the state government. It is a state government. See, SIT, when we had two SITs earlier, one to Senegal, one which went to Casablanca in Morocco, we only took necessary permission. Government of India did not accompany us. They just gave us permission as in which we wanted. What is it that the SIT has done, or what is it that SIT has been allowed or not allowed to do over there? Then only SIT can. If SIT is sitting in Bangalore and the fugitive is sitting outside the country, what efforts have you made? Instead of we are only debating why is he not coming back on. You could have technical evidence over there. There are some people defending his presence over there. And a group of people. And if the MEA is moved to inform the government in Germany or whichever country is that whoever is taking care of his personal belongings or who is giving him protection will also be dealt with. Nobody is going to come forward to do all those things over there. It is, the onus is completely on SIT, which is the investigating body, which has to put a line of investigation. Government of India cannot do an investigation and apprehend. It is the SIT's lookout, and we have done it and we have shown it. In fact, we have done it with those countries where we did not even have a proper extradition policy, like Morocco and Senegal over there, which are countries which have its own issues over there. When Karnataka police can do it there, why we cannot do it here?
Okay. Okay, Karnataka police can do it is what Mr. Rao says. Now, bringing in Mr. Arvind Kumar Jain, he's been the former top police officer from Uttar Pradesh. He's been a former DGP there. In such cases, Mr. Jain, how does really the centre's role come in? And how does the state's role come in? And Mr. Rao was pointing out instances where the state police has travelled abroad to, apprehend an accused. And what can be done now, considering the fact that it's very clear that this man has no intentions of coming back until he thinks it's safe for him or it's okay, either politically or personally?
Center, I don't think has anything to do with this case unless and until request is made by Government of Karnataka. Government of Karnataka has requested for cancellation of diplomatic passport. In the Passport Act, it's absolutely clear that court orders are required for it. They should obtain court order and send it to passport authority, and naturally, immediately his passport will be revoked. It should be done. Number two, whenever there is a fugitive, the laid down procedure is that you keep on conducting raids at his places of residence. You should make an inventory of whatever is there in those houses. You should collect all the relevant papers of the properties and should move court for 82, 83 proceedings under CRPC. This is what we do. Once action is taken under 82 and court order is obtained under 83, all his properties can be attached. All his properties can be raided. So this should be done. This is a measure which will bring him back. And family and this man will get a bad name that throughout Karnataka. I think there shouldn't be any politics in such a dirty case where there are 3,000 assault cases. And he should not have been allowed to flee from the country. And it is the duty of the state government, because it's a state subject, law and order. I think what I have read is, and I believe it also, that because he is a Vokalega and Vorkalega in those areas, polling was due. That's why he was not arrested. It's simply politics, nothing else. He is a sexual offender. He is one of the top criminals of the country, about which every woman in the country, every person, every right-thinking person in the country is talking. Sternest possible action should be taken. JDS has suspended him. I think they should expel him. And as far as ties with the BJP are concerned, that is, Prime Minister has issued a statement. I have read it. Mr. Amit Shah has issued a statement against him that drastic action should be taken. They will think all those things are political, whether the alliance continues or not, whether he is thrown out, whether he becomes MP or not. But action under 82, 83 should be initiated, and very drastic action is required against such a sexual offender, and the state government is fully empowered to do it. SIT is fully empowered to do it, and they should do their job instead of blaming others. Yeah. Whatever powers they have, they should utilize those powers.
Okay, Mr. Naveen Chomal, I'll come to you because you had Mr. Jain talk about how the courts as well have to give orders here that can be sent to the center. If you could give some clarity into this aspect too.
See, Mr. Jain has very rightly pointed out the provisions of law. So let me, as a lawyer, explain the points in details to our esteemed viewers. I fully agree with the view taken by Jain Saab, and of course, Bhaskar Rao has also made some valid points. What happens in the country? There is a separation of powers between the center and the state. And the law and order is a state subject. Whereas the lookout notices and the apprehending of the people on the airports and issues of passport is the central government's duty. So in these cases, whatever central government does, as Jain Saab rightly pointed out, it has to be done on the recommendation of the state government. So here the state government is lacking all the while. When Mr. Prajwal Revanna went out of the country, that time there was no case against him and no law in the country could have stopped him. So you cannot blame the government in the center for his visit outside the country. Secondly, today red corner notice cannot be issued. At the most, blue corner notice can be issued to the Interpol to only track the whereabouts of the person. Now, if the state government is serious, they will have to complete the investigation and file the charge sheet in the matter. And parallel to that, as rightly said by Jain Saab, they will have to initiate the proceedings under section 82-83 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. That is known as proclamation, issuance of proclamation of that particular person to be an absconding person. They will have to first get a warrant issued from the Honorable Court. Upon the warrant not being executed, then they have to declare him to be a proclaimed offender, and then that will help him in the filing the
Mr.
documents
Chomal,
that
now
are required
because
for
see,
issuance of the red corner notice.
now you're
Not
giving us a
otherwise.
detailed
Not
procedure.
otherwise.
How long does this procedure really take? How long does this procedure really take when you go through the courts? Because
It should-
this
it-
crime that came to
it
the
all-
fore,
it all
I believe
depends
the
on
first
the-
FIR happened around the 27th or 28th. And now today is of course the 16th. So it's been quite some time. It's been about nearly 3 weeks. How much more time? Because
Yes,
this man
Deepak.
clearly has no intentions of coming back anytime
Deepak-ji,
soon.
Deepak-ji, I respect your concerns. So it all depends on the sincerity of the Karnataka state government to fasten the investigation. How fast they do the investigation. Because leveling charges is one thing, but to prove in the court through the charge sheet is another thing. They may level the allegations in the media. But you know, this is a case with 2976 video clips. And some of them, before the gag order had reached my mobile also. So we have seen that many of them are totally morphed on using the AI. And the women therein are all foreign actresses, which we see in the XXX movies. I will not say further, having regard to the decency. So kindly appreciate, the state government will have to prove. Otherwise, if the state government makes any wrong charge sheet before the court, they will be held liable very badly. So the state government is also not very serious about the taking the matter to the logical end. They are only playing politics, leveling allegations only. If they are serious, they should file the charge sheet in the court, let the court take cognizance, and only when the court takes cognizance, then the red corner notice can be issued and that person can be arrested in foreign country and brought back to our country. So the ball is in the state government's court now.
I think state government needs to answer. We have Lavanya Ballal, of course, who's probably ready with several answers. She's been putting her hand up. Lavanya, I apologize, but I need to slip into a very short commercial break, requesting all of you all to wait. We'll be back, and I'm coming to you straight. I'm coming to you directly. We are coming back to the debate after the short break, requesting you and our viewers to stay with us. Welcome back, viewers. We are discussing what are the possible means through which Prajwal Revanna, who's been accused of sexually abusing, assaulting, molesting and raping multiple women, how can he be brought back? He's clearly absconding at this point in time. There's politics going on. There's a blame game that's on. We had multiple perspectives, of course, before slipping into a quick break, and some of them included that the onus right now lies on the state government. Lavanya, you wanted to respond. Now's your time.
Each one of your guests. Now, Mr. Chomal was talking about the videos. I think he's a legal expert, and just because he's not in the court of law, he cannot make allegations about AI or doctored videos unless he's an expert. And he also talks about, hey, you know what? Some of these ladies are seen in XXX videos. Sir, I don't think that is legal in India to watch those videos. I'm not sure. I'm not a legal expert. But then let's also, that's all hearsay. Now, let's go back to the other guest, Mr. Jain, who said, there is information about Prajwal Revanna not being arrested earlier because he was from the Gowda community. Once again, it is hearsay. It is a baseless allegation made on the Congress government in the state. The entire issue itself broke out, and immediately once the protest started in the city of Hassan, the Congress government has taken action. While you are passing the buck, while everybody tries to pass the buck to the Congress, I would like to once again reiterate and ask, what was the BJP government doing from December 2023 What was the JDS government doing from 2023? We see Kumaraswamy every day addressing the press, coming up with a new direction, misleading the entire thing. Not a word is spoken by Kumaraswamy or the BJP about the victims or justice for the victims. They are not talking about it. Both these parties were aware of these videos since December 2023, and they chose not to take action as political parties, as human beings, civilized human beings, and as elected representatives. They did not think the onus is on them to give justice to these women, but they were busy protecting Prajwal Revanna. Everybody needs to rethink about it and get off their high horse and tell me, the only one woman in this debate, Deepak, I want to know from all of these men when they're passing the buck, sir, what is your stand on justice for women? Why aren't you speaking on that? I didn't hear anybody speaking about justice for women. They all talk about, hey, you know what?
But
Congress
we'll ask them that,
blamed.
Lavanya, but also what needs to be asked here what needs to be answered is about the state government's role. Now, when you say that the BJP was supposed to know about his, antecedents before giving him a ticket, well, they should have. And there have been allegations that they were told about it, they still gave him the ticket. Now, that is for them to deal with politically. But the state has been in the hands of the Congress party as far as dealing with a crime is concerned. The BJP in Karnataka cannot deal with this crime. It is the Congress government that has to deal with it. There is also the state intel. If there were people who are talking about the pen drives informing the BJP and all of these were happening, and clearly people of Karnataka, especially when southern Karnataka was voting the 40 seats, it was pretty clear that these videos were in circulation few days before the elections. But the NCW comes out with the complaint immediately after the election, a day after. The FIR is registered a day after that. And then the Congress goes on a tangent to say that the centre didn't stop him from leaving the country. Where does the question of stopping an individual come when there is no FIR at all?
Deepak, let me clarify. The NCW stepped into action immediately as soon as there was a protest by women's organization in Hassan. They stepped in immediately into action.
Okay, but now, anyway, let's not divert too much, Lavanya. I mean, I in fact wanted to ask you one pointed question. I'll just add to that so that you can answer together before we go around and beat around the bush. The lawyers and the former IPS officer as well was mentioning about how you can fast track this case, get rulings from the court, and then move this legally as well to try and get him back. Because right now the blame game will continue. This is a game of tutu meme that is being played now for over 3 weeks. What is going to be done by the Congress party so that you can file this charge sheet or go through court, get a non-bailable warrant issued against him, and use this to probably get him apprehended in another country? Or which other means is the Congress employing right now to fast track this case and ensure justice to these women?
Yeah. The SIT is doing its job. The SIT is doing its methodical job so that there is no loopholes later in the day for this person to escape through any loopholes or any legalities. While we are talking about SIT, Mr. Bhaskar Rao was mentioning about how SIT has gone to foreign countries and brought back wanted criminals, but they failed to bring Nityananda, isn't it? Nityananda is absconding. He is also a sex offender in Karnataka, but SIT has not brought him back till date. Now, when we are
oh my God, what nonsense she's talking over there. I'm giving instance of how SIT can go abroad, and she's talking absolutely irrelevant discussion. If you have no knowledge about the subject, don't speak.
Okay, Mr. Rao, I'll come to you. I'll come to you in just a minute. I'll just come to you in about 30 seconds. Let her complete, and I'll come to you. You can rebut.
Yeah, you don't need to get triggered.
Go ahead, Lavanya, 30
I'm just
seconds.
mentioning the fact.
She has no knowledge about procedures.
Who is wanted in Karnataka for sex offense in Karnataka, and he's still not brought back. And this was during the BJP government that he ran away from Karnataka, right? He went missing. Now everybody keeps saying, hey, you know what? You should have done this, you should have done that.
Again, we are shifting to the blame game. Lavanya, we are not sticking to specifics. People today in Karnataka would want to know, people in the country would want to know, the victims and their families would want to know. When is he going to be brought back? How is he going to be brought back? Whether it's the BJP or the Congress, what are they doing to bring him back?
Deepak, if I may finish, he will be brought back legally as soon as possible. And that is a commitment by the Congress government. We would also like to know, has the intelligence in India failed that the BJP Home Minister was not aware, Amit Shah was not aware that a crime of this scale has happened with his alliance partner? And was intelligence failure present while he went away from India? after the videos started leaking? Was the government
Well,
not
Lavanya,
aware?
I think we've
Or if the government was
spoken
aware,
about this.
was
Again,
there
this is
no
a blame game.
punishment
Again, you
for
cannot
justice?
expect the center and the central intelligence to deal with the
Deepak,
crime
you
that's
cannot
happening
give-
in
You
Hassan.
cannot give a blanket
Does that
statement
happen?
like that, Deepak.
Does that happen?
This
I'm
is a
not
valid
giving them.
question.
I'm not giving them. I'm not giving. No, but Lavanya, let's stick to certain aspects here which make sense.
See, Deepak,
If there is
first
no
of all, let me
FIR
tell
and then
you.
saying, well, the
Deepak,
center allowed them to go, the question is you can blame them politically. You can say, why did you
We
give
are
this man a
not. We
ticket?
are not.
Weren't you aware?
Deepak.
Because there were talks. Well, that is something that you can speak of. But to
Deepak.
again say that, well,
Deepak.
their intelligence failed, that is quite bizarre because it's a state subject.
Deepak, you're reiterating the same point. Let me reiterate the same point once again. There has been a lack of support from the BJP in ensuring justice for these victims. It is not just the Congress government in the state which has to ensure this guy has to come back. The central government also needs to cooperate. As much as these people would like to say, hey, we had no role, they also have a role, if not a role, a commitment to ensure justice
now we are
for these
talking.
women.
Now we are
Congress
talking
government
specific,
is
Lavanya.
committed
Now
for
you're
justice.
saying something that is specific, and that is probably in the interest of bringing him back. Now you're saying that the BJP is not cooperating. They should. This is something that should have been happening from the beginning of the debate instead of both of you are blaming each other. Now I can ask the
I'm
BJP,
not.
what are you going
It's
to
not
do to
blame.
cooperate in this
Deepak.
investigation to help the Congress party?
Deepak, let me make it very clear. I'm stating the facts. It is not a blame. I'm stating the facts. It is not a blame game. Nowhere have I done any baseless allegations against anybody. I've just stated the facts. Please don't say it is a blame game.
Okay, Mr. Rao, your response.
What do you want out of the government of India? No, what do you want out of government of India? It is there. It is not there to go and catch the fugitive and come back. It is the SIT's lookout to ask for necessary clearances, necessary permissions, etc. and then get the fugitive back. And as rightly pointed out by Jain sir from DGP Uttar Pradesh, saying that investigation should have been completed, charge sheet filed, and then he should have been declared a proclaimed offender. And after having declared being a proclaimed offender, his property should have been seized. Why is that SIT not being allowed? Your government is not allowing the SIT to work. It is only kept a notional SIT. That's what I want to tell Lavanya. Instead of blaming, what do you want? Can BJP government send a team to Germany or to Schengen countries to go and apprehend?
If you
it is
think
not
that
their lookout.
Okay, but
What is the specific
in a
cooperation you
matter
have
like
sought?
this, you're saying that the
What
center
is it
cannot
that
do
you sought
anything.
and BJP did not give you? It has done whatever it is supposed
Lavanya,
to
you
do.
want to respond to that?
What do you want it to do? To send a team from some central paramilitary organizations or what? It is the lookout of the SIT. And we have done it in Karnataka earlier. It is not that we are strange to we have done it in instances where we did not even have a bilateral treaty. We did not have India does not even have a bilateral treaty with Senegal or with Morocco. There we were able to extradite a person who had gone on a false passport, and we were able to get. The state SIT is not being allowed to do work. So shifting the blame to BJP can only.
Okay, very quickly. I have very little time left, so I'll ask Lavanya to come back. Lavanya, the BJP is asking one specific question. If you want the BJP's cooperation, what exactly do you want? Have you made any sort of communication that this is what we want you to do? This is how you can help in the investigation?
Yes. The state government has written to the central government as to what they want. The letter was written by the CM of Karnataka to Amit Shah's office, requesting they cancel, first of all, his diplomatic passport. And there has been no response from the BJP side at all. So with all due respect, Mr. Rao, I am not disputing any of the past history of SIT. All I'm asking right now is when earlier there was no problem with the cooperation of central and the state government. Is there a lack of willingness right now by the BJP union government to bring back Prajwal?
Well, he just answered some of those questions, Lavanya, as he says that there is no prerogative of the center to really get involved here when the matter is being investigated by the state police. And the state police in its request, you are saying, has asked for a cancellation of the passport, which again
Send your
earlier was
SIT to
disputed.
Schengen
Mr. Rao, if you want to make that point once again.
It was written by the CM of Karnataka
Mr. Rao,
to the
Lavanya
union
makes a
government.
specific point. Lavanya makes a specific point about the cancellation of the passport.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Government of India and go.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
SIT should make
Mr. Rao,
1,
if you
2,
could
3,
respond
4,
to that
5, 6
specific
points
question
and ask government of
that
India,
the
I want
centre
audit.
hasn't acted
And then
upon.
it should proceed.
Mr. Rao,
See, we have done it.
Mr. Rao,
Okay,
Mr. Rao, the specific question
the state
on
government may have sent
cancellation
a
of
request for
passport.
cancellation of the passport over there. And as yeah, it must have, if it has sent it with all the documentation over there, the central government will ask the passport, it will be cancelled from the local Bangalore regional passport office only to cancel the whole thing over there. That is there. But what is it that the SIT has done to bring Prajwal back and complete the investigation? That is only one aspect. Why are you not empowering the SIT to do the remaining part of investigation?
I have through the debate asked Lavanya. I've had her answer all the questions through the debate. So you can't tell me that we are not focusing on the other aspects. I am going to focus on this aspect because it involves you, the BJP, Mr. Rao.
What do you want the BJP to do now? Okay, the diplomatic passport is cancelled. If it is cancelled, does it mean that Prajwal Revanna is going to figure out in Bangalore or what over there? The SIT has to apprehend him and get him in over here. That is the purpose behind it. And earlier also, Karnataka government had done an SIT and we were able to secure people from outside the country. So do it now. Why is it the SIT not able to do it?
Okay. Well, it seems